morning on the 7th day. I'm hanging out on the deck this morning because it's probably the last time I'm going to see sun for another couple of months. I wish I were joking. What I really wanted to point out right now is a sort of dumb little epiphany I just had. You see, that's ocean. And it just kind of occurred to me that it goes for miles and miles and miles, and it goes down for miles and miles and miles and miles and miles and miles and miles. And there are creatures living in there. There's plant life down there. It's just huge. And I guess you don't really think of, you know, a continent or the atmosphere is huge really, because you can just see it all the time. But you can't really see down under the ocean's surface. It's just not as easily available, so it's just kind of harder to grasp how huge and vast and inhabited it is. I still have 70 pages left, but I was just thinking about how well these books were made, and overall they're well written. They capture war in the way that it's depicted here, and everything really, and hunger and horrible things that happen to people. But the one thing that sort of bothers me is the romance aspect, because a lot of books recently have been taking to, okay, we've got a girl main character, and she's got to be, you know, our heroine, and she's got to focus on, you know, winning this war, or just doing things. And then there are the two guys vying for attention. And it's just so common. But the things that this book does well is that usually in that sort of plot line, you got one guy who's just the general sweetheart of a guy, and you know that he's not gonna be the one that she picks. And then you've got the tougher, slightly battered one, I guess, and that's the one that is usually picked. But in this one, I mean, you've almost got those two, but they've both got very similar things. They're just, you don't know which one she's gonna pick. I have no idea. I mean, there's the nice guy one, but at the same time, there's the best friend, and the nice guy one's all battered now, but so it's just, I don't know, she handled it in a different way than it's stereotypically been covered. So, good job. I've decided that Sunset Orange is pretty and all, but it's best when given context. So I just got out of a Chinese herbal ism talk thing, and it's not quite what I expected. It ended up being one of the spa ladies saying, hey, let's tote Chinese herbal remedies and things, and then trying to show us a bunch of products that are just herbs in capsule form for this reason or that use, etc., which didn't endear me as such. But I did learn something interesting about how acupuncture actually works. Acupuncture works by the lady gave us an example, sort of a comparison, where say you're walking around, stretch, and bam, your toe hits the side of the bedpost, and all of a sudden you feel all this pain, like, oh damn, that hurts. So your brain starts sending down all sorts of good, let's help the body, antibodies and blood and everything down to that toe to help it heal. That's what acupuncture actually is. You know, putting little needles into you all around, so your body's like, oh, need to heal this. These are little things puncturing the skin. And so acupuncture is really just something to get all of this good healing, clean blood circulating all over your body. I have no idea what this is. I've tried a couple of times to go through it, and it basically involves this. Maybe it's a kind of dance, I'm not sure. If so, maybe a drunkard tried last night and puked there. Again, I'm not sure. And it's occurring to me that my entire collection of thoughts from whatnot from this entire trip is just going to be a bunch of totally unconnected clips for a handful of videos with no segues because I'm not going to put any things inside them. Hello. Okay, I lost my steam. Okay. Bye. This is a nice and pretty thing to hold against your door. Compare that to the poster of Justin Bieber that I found a couple of floors up. So I'm a little displeased. We've been wandering around just going to this show and that show, and the one the activity that we just got out of was a Name That TV tune. We did one yesterday. Pokemon was one of them. It was great. And then today was just part 2, the second installment. And there was one of them, one that started off, like Yu Yu Hakusho. It started off with the same opening 10 seconds as Smile Bomb, and it wasn't. Except it was, except nobody else noticed it. And it was disappointing. And I feel so self-conscious talking in an alleyway to my camera. So that is it. We're going to go play ping pong now. Goodbye. It looks like there's water in here, but that's a lie. That's an angry sounding toilet. We just saw this show called Cirque du Jour, which is basically Cirque du Soleil, but with a jewel sort of theme. And I've never seen anything Cirque. I'm hiding in a bathroom. And I've never seen anything Cirque-y before, so it was really cool watching all these dancers and acrobats and contortionists. There were some pretty neat ones. There's somebody who looked like Alan Tudyk, and there's these 2 guys who were really good on like hoops and aerial cloth, hauling themselves up on feet and feet on fabrics. You can't see, but I think But I think the show stopped. There was singing too, but the singing was okay. It was for the acrobats. But the showstoppers were Alicia and some guy, and the woman was just this crazy contortionist. And as my dad said, he concedes that he has aerobic limitations, I think. These crazy feet going here, and it was fascinating just because it was this contortion-y lady and the straw man who holds them and everything. But I don't know, I guess I was never even going to play an instrument or use a weapon or anything like that because I can't, like, my body is my body. I can't just have this extension of my body with a flute or a sword or anything. I've tried, it just isn't me. I don't like having to rely on other things. But that's what it was with the 2 of them. They knew each other's bodies, they knew how each other would react. They were totally okay with having the other's hand in their crotch. Totally trusted them with falling and throwing them in the air and catching everything. We just spent 2 hours watching a live band play a bunch of people's covers. I can't hear. I thought it worth noting that one of the ladies who went up to dance looked like Judith, my reference professor last semester. She looked like her and she just acted like her. It was great. And so that's the story. Hi, so we're at this chocoholic thing in the dining place. Everything is made of chocolate. This lady is made of chocolate. This is made of chocolate. This is a mermaid. She's made out of chocolate. So are her little seahorse friends in the coral reef. This is made out of chocolate. All the way up to the headdress. This is not chocolate. I think it's ice.